So with this zero gravity workstation, the idea is it's super comfortable. It removes all the risk of RSI, but you are still sedentary. And we know that being sedentary is problematic, but the science doesn't say that it's irreversible. You can remove the risk associated with being in the seated state all day by making sure you just get that exercise in. So I think it's something like 50 to 70 minutes of exercise every day. So, combining a walk with some calisthenics work, trying to balance this out. I did a lot of research, and I put all the notes and research in my Zettelkasten and Notes vault. And I actually built an app that will give you these workouts and track your progress as well. So that's available for master level members on this channel as well. This is just kind of the result of the research that I've done into this topic, where I've been looking at the most efficient way to use my time in terms of doing this exercise, in terms of sets and reps and total volume through the week, and balancing different muscle loads and all of these kinds of things, for essentially for strength as the main goal. I figured there's not really much point in doing all of this if you're not actually getting functional strength. So this is why I'm really particularly interested in calisthenics as opposed to just kind of working with weights. I think that idea of mastering your own body weight, and also just, some of these moves are so challenging that I think it's a good direction to go in. It puts the tension on your whole body in a way that just results in real functional strength and sort of ability to move your body like that. So that's the direction I wanted to go. So in terms of actually setting up a system in the house that I can very quickly get to, I need to do this every day. I don't want any barriers or friction to just getting these workouts done. I thought I would turn our spare room into this calisthenics workstation. And the way that I did that was using this galvanized steel. And this is just such a fun material to work with. It's not expensive. You can get it cut to size and delivered to your house in a couple of days. I'll link to the place I got mine from. And it comes with these cast iron connectors that let you kind of just build any shape you like with this. So I thought quite hard about what is the best way of actually kind of converting a room, using the walls, essentially. How do you build a structurally strong system that lets you swing on these bars and climb and do muscle ups on the rings and all of this in a way that isn't going to sort of require lots of industrial work looking for rafters and stuff and floorboards and all of this sort of thing. So obviously on one side of our room we've got the exterior wall and the other is an internal wall. Now the internal wall is just not structural at all. There's hardly anything in there. The struts are just these little metal thin things and then plasterboard. The other wall is obviously structural. It's got the thermalite blocks behind plasterboard. I thought if I did an upright on that wall and then essentially built a big sheet of Orient strand board on the other wall to add rotational, that sheet can't rotate because obviously it comes out quite wide. Put the big tube of galvanized steel from one side to the other, it kind of locks itself in. It can't go anywhere. It's not at risk of pushing through the interior wall because it's actually locked on to the exterior wall as well. And then obviously it can't rotate into the room because of the plywood on one side and obviously being locked onto the exterior wall on the other. That's the horizontal. And then I did this upright in the middle and just screwed that literally into the floorboards at the base and then added a pull-up bar across one side of there. Then we have this big structural hanging bar that I can hang my gym rings off on the open space and do pull-ups on the bar on the other space. And just that sort of super simple, flexible approach allows for so many cool things. And then obviously just adding some dip bars and, a couple of sort of free weights around the room. And you've basically converted the room into just a really functional calisthenics space. So I'll obviously include the app for members and you can sort of look at how I've structured these workout protocols. I'll put a few ideas on the screen as well so you can sort of see the kind of thing that I'm doing. The goal being really to hit all of the major muscle groups and all of the sort of supplementary muscle groups as well as kind of working on tendon strength and central nervous system and all of these kinds of things that work to kind of promoting a sense of health and fitness. I've looked in great depth at all of this and tried to sort of tease out some good themes and optimum protocols for doing this kind of thing. So a really brilliant way of just kind of converting a space into a full calisthenics studio.